What's going on, guys? Thanks for tuning in. You're watching Sneaker News on YouTube, and today we're going to take a closer look at the Nike SB Dunk Low Panda Pigeon. All right, here we go. This is the Nike SB Dunk Low Panda Pigeon. It is the third chapter of the Pigeon Dunk series created by Jeff Staple. Jeff, of course, based in New York City. He's originally from New Jersey, but he associates himself with New York City. He founded the Reed Space boutique / creative space in the Lower East Side, which has since closed. But he did create the original Pigeon Dunk in 2005. It is considered to be one of the most significant shoe releases ever. It brought sneaker reselling to the mainstream in terms of it being covered by news media. There was definitely a bigger spotlight on sneaker reselling after that happened. And right now, the original Pigeon Dunk goes for around 15 grand. So definitely in the 5-figure range. So it's pretty crazy to see how that shoe just skyrocketed in value. And it's definitely a true grail item. But like we said, this is the third chapter. There was the second version that he did back in 2017. And now he decided to revisit the Pigeon Dunk for a third time. But this time he's not only paying homage to the first Pigeon Dunk release, but he's also bringing in some fresher elements that kind of call out to his ethnicity and his culture. So Panda Pigeon is a mix of the Pigeon Dunk, based on the pigeon mascot that you see here on the heel, and the panda. And the reason why the panda has significance to Jeff is that that animal in some ways is the unofficial mascot animal of China, much in the way the pigeon is to New York City. So he decided to give that some love based on the very straightforward black and white colorway. The panda is a black and white bear. And if you look here on the medial side, there is another subtle nod to the pigeon by the gray swoosh. You can clearly see here that the lateral swoosh is white and the medial inside swoosh is gray. Some additional hints of green to represent bamboo. Of course, bamboo is a snack of choice for pandas. See that green on the tongue tag, on the inner side of the tongue, and even in the extra laces. More of that is featured here on the insoles. As you can see, you see that bamboo detailing. You've got the pigeon mascot here on the right and the Staple Design logo on the left. And one of the more quirkier details about this shoe is right here on the inner sock liner. You see a bunch of lettering and scribbles. And for those of you who aren't too familiar with what that means, basically, even today and back in the day, Nike used to make samples to test out colors, to test out materials, and they would either show it to focus groups, they would show it to retailers to see if the shoe would sell. In this same font, it would say sample, not for resale, aka the shoes were meant for viewing only, they're not to be sold. Any of you guys who were in the shoe game back in the day, a lot of retailers did sell the samples too, so that's how a lot of unreleased samples do hit eBay and whatnot, but not to go off topic. But the reason why he included this here was that this colorway was actually a scrap sample from when he was doing the second dunk in 2017. So this black and white sample, you might have even seen Jeff wear it at events, or he posted it on his social a few times, but they decided to bring it back and kind of nod to the whole unreleased sample thing by including that print again in the sock liner. But now he kind of scribbled out the letter M and added a T and all that to spell out the word staple. Under that, it says not for resell, which again, resell versus resale are two different things. Resale for actual retailers, it means you can't sell it again. For example, you buy a box of Twinkies, and inside each individual pack it says not for resale. That's because you're not supposed to sell them individually, they're supposed to be sold as a box, but like we said, not gonna go too into that, but now it says not for resell. And that's important too, because like we said, the original Pigeon Dunk, which sells for like at least 10, 15 grand now, was the shoe that brought sneaker reselling to the mainstream, because Jeff said in many interviews that when the first Pigeon Dunk dropped, a lot of non-sneakerheads and not streetwear guys would come in to try to buy the shoes because they heard that people were buying these up on eBay for double, triple, or quadruple the retail value. So he would cause men in suits coming in during their lunch break to try to buy the shoes, and of course they couldn't get them because they were all sold out. So again, it's a nice little nod to a bit of the sneaker reselling spark that particular shoe definitely brought to the mainstream. It wasn't what started the sneaker reselling market, because people were reselling stuff since the advent of eBay. I mean, yard sales in some way or sneaker reselling, but that shoe in particular, again, goes for a ton of money. It is considered a true grail. The landscape of sneaker reselling has changed so much. Flight Club's been around since before the Pigeon Dunk, and now you have shops like Stadium Goods. You have a lot of independently owned smaller consignment shops across the globe. You have StockX. You have so many resources for people to buy and resell. So the Pigeon Dunk didn't start reselling, but it definitely, like we said, brought it to the spotlight. So again, nice little nod, nice little bit of storytelling, and that leads us to the final detail about this shoe. Is right here, and that's at the bottom of the sole. Like we said, the 2005 Pigeon Dunk release not only garnered media attention, but it was mostly because, there were riots. Kids brought weapons and machetes, and there were police escorts because, people were ready to act a fool to try to get these shoes, whether it was through legit means or not. And the New York Post had headlines about sneaker riots and all that. That too was a big part of mainstreaming sneaker culture and popularizing this hobby that's now a global thing. And so he took those headlines, made it into like a mosaic sort of all over print graphic, put that at the bottom of the footbed through a translucent sole. We personally not a fan of translucent soles, but it definitely works here. And you can see that in the other shoe as well. So very thorough storytelling, very thorough, thoughtful design. Jeff is a designer by trade, so he's gonna bring it when it comes to design. Of course, a lot of the collaborations that he did after that original Pigeon Dunk were pretty much just repurposed gray and pink pigeons. Puma, New Balance. He stretched it out as much as he could, yet the original Pigeon Dunk still sells for a lot of money. So, and now that Nike SB is again enjoying a little bit of a moment by revisiting some of its most important collaborators, such as Jeff. This shoe is a big part of the Nike SB comeback. Whether it's this shoe, it's also the concepts purple and green lobsters. It's the fact that Travis Scott's really into SB. It's the fact that the Air Jordan 1, which is super popular right now, is like a cousin of the Dunk. There are a lot of things that are really kind of factoring into the whole Nike SB revival, and the Pigeon Dunk is sort of adding fuel to that flame a little bit. So again, we hope you guys enjoyed this in-depth review. So why don't you let us know in the comments which is your favorite? The answer is obvious, the original Pigeon Dunk, but for some of you younger cats out there, this might have more meaning to you. So we understand that, we respect that, and that's kind of what keeps sneaker culture going. So if you like this shoe the best out of the three, let us know in the comments. And just again, to touch on resale a little bit and whatnot, the retail price of these were $100, and right now they're going for anywhere between $200 and $300, depending on your size. And right now, it's kind of like sitting in that area right now. We don't really foresee any of the SB Dunks really surpassing that 300 mark unless you're buying it like super early. But thanks for watching. We hope you enjoyed this video. And just make sure you hit that subscribe button because we're gonna post more videos, and we'll catch you on the next one.